So, I think it's probably time to answer the question that a lot of you guys asked in my last video, and that is, why am I leaving China? Before I really jump into it, I just want to say I am going to still continue making videos when I move to Taiwan. But why am I leaving China? I've broken down my reasons into sort of 5 different reasons. None of them are more significant than the other. It's just the biggest 5 I could think of off the top of my head. Now, the first reason I'm leaving China is I just sort of feel like I got what I came for. I'm quite satisfied with the time I've spent here. When I originally came to China, I came here for a little bit of adventure, meet some new friends. I certainly got my fair share of adventure.
Alright, we're off!
Worst case Ontario, the cops stood up.
Hey Prozzie, you're a dickhead.
Kevin, Jesus, boy, where you going?
He started my bike! He kill switched me! I'm going after him, boys!
Wow, 86 got really weird. Why did I agree to come on this show?
I've met quite a lot of new friends.
Your sister looks awful lot like a man.
That's not my sister.
I'm not asking my favorite restaurant staff to get a birthday cake for a fucking sex doll that we dress in my fucking wife's clothes and then put in my kid's stroller to get here.
Oh! What time is it? 2:30? And I asked fucking Beer to get me a drink and he got me a bottle of booze. Nice. So before we hit the beach, we're gonna have some lunch. Guzzle, what do you got for us?
Yeah. So I came to Shanghai 2 years ago.
Fucking touch me.
It's so that I could be a better person.
It doesn't make you a better person.
It does. It's making me into a morning person.
Changed his name. Whatever the case.
I think the biggest reason I'm leaving is just I'm sort of satisfied with the time I've been here. It's been an amazing 4 years, and I'm pretty proud of myself for the things I've done, and I also feel very grateful for the time I've been able to spend in China. The second reason I'm leaving China is the internet. As my channel grows larger and larger and larger, the more I find myself relying on the internet, the more I find myself relying on reliable internet. And that isn't something you're really gonna get in China. I don't think it should come to a surprise to very many people that China censors their internet. So anything like Facebook, Google, YouTube, Twitter, you name it, anything pretty much Western is going to be blocked by the government. Not a huge deal to most foreigners because I think every foreigner here in China has something called a VPN, or a virtual private network. And if you use that, usually you have to pay a little bit of money. If you use that, you'll be able to gain access to whatever websites you want. The problem is that the internet in China, even without a VPN, isn't really that fast. And if you're using a VPN, it slows it down even more. And for someone like me who's on YouTube quite a lot, that can be incredibly frustrating. But you might be thinking, well, Prozzie, that's not a huge deal. However, there are some sort of darker consequences to being on YouTube and, you know, the government not really being able to regulate what I say. I haven't really said too many bad things about China because I don't really have anything bad to say. But the problem is that I'm definitely, and this isn't some kind of tinfoil hat thing, kind of on a government watch list. So every time I cross the border, every time I come back into China, I get stopped at the border security thing, and they take me into a room and they look at my passport and they ask me a bunch of questions, and it's all very intimidating. And there's a lot more to that story that I'll get into probably in a different video. I'm quite excited to go to Taiwan, where I hear anyways, of course I don't know because I've never been there before, that the internet is quite fast. So I'm excited to see how that all works out. The third reason I'm leaving China is riding. If you've been watching my channel for a while now, you know that I love riding motorcycles and scooters and going around and exploring. Unfortunately, China's changed a lot in the 4 years I've been here. Now they're getting quite a bit more strict with what you can ride here in Huizhou, where I live. 4 years ago, you could ride a motorcycle, you could ride a petrol-powered scooter anywhere in the city, and it hasn't been a big deal. Bigger cities like Shenzhen, Guangzhou, Beijing, Shanghai, you know, those cities, you could never ride motorcycles there before. But in Huizhou, it was quite a bit more free, or at least a gray area where you can kind of get used to it. Now though, not going to happen. So, I mean, if I move to Taiwan, where I hear, again, never been there, it's riding heaven. Everyone has a scooter. Outside the cities, they got some great roads you can go ride on, and that's something I'm really looking forward to. I've owned so many motorcycles here in China, and all of them either get taken by the police or taken by thieves. And this kind of leads on to my next reason why I'm leaving China, and that is the lack of social mind. Now, this might not make a whole lot of sense to you if you're not used to China, but Chinese people don't have a social mind. Now, let me give you an example so you can have a better idea of what I'm talking about. A few years ago, I got the chance to go see my friend's hometown around Chinese New Year. And we have it all on video, you can go see. It's how Chinese people celebrate Chinese New Year. And it was great. It was with a Kejia family or a Hakka family, and I love these people because I just find, and this is a personal opinion, that Kejia people are extremely friendly. I mean, the name Kejia literally translates to guest families. So they're sort of the guests of Guangdong and other southern provinces. And I find them to be incredibly welcoming to foreigners, and they were so welcoming they had me over for Chinese New Year. That's like inviting some random Chinese person over for Christmas. And I met her grandmother, who was really, really sweet, really, really nice, made sure I have enough food to eat, enough to drink, you know, just partying all the time, just really lovely, 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 sweet woman. Here's the thing about Chinese culture, and it's a very complicated topic and probably one for a whole nother video, but I'm just trying to make this go by as quickly as possible. If that older, really sweet, nice woman doesn't know you, she'll act like you're not even there. And that's what really frustrates a lot of foreigners when they come here for the first year or two, is they can't understand why Chinese people treat them like they don't even exist. So not holding the door for them, they'll just let it slam in your face, or the way they drive is completely inconsiderate, or spitting on the streets, or letting their children urinate in public, and more than that. It's just, they have no consideration for their environment or the other people around them if they don't know that person. If a Chinese person knows you personally, if you're a friend of the family, they will treat you like gold, incredibly friendly. But it's just this thing they have with strangers, they'll act like you don't exist. They're not a very considerate culture. And it's something I've gotten definitely used to. I've lived here for 4 years. I know how to roll with those punches. But I am looking forward to potentially moving to a place where I can be treated a little bit better in public. And this is not, you know, a punch against Chinese people. It's just a fact. If you come to China, if you're one of those people who's gonna try and defend it and be like, no, China's the best country in the world. No, I lived here for 4 years, I know how it works. So it's not like I hate Chinese people or anything like that. I do like them. It's just, it's frustrating with the day-to-day thing when you're going to work and you're getting cut off, and then you get to work and there's just trash, and it's just, you want China to be better, and it's just something that kind of frustrates me a little bit. And that lack of social mind is what's gonna bring me to the next point, and that is, it's incredibly difficult for a foreigner to be successful in China. Can you be successful in China? Yeah, but there's a whole lot of challenges, unfair challenges that are gonna be in your way. And you can go and you can ask anyone here that's owned a bar or a big YouTube channel or whatever kind of bit, maybe a school, and there's always somehow along their way to success, someone has come and tried to take it from them, or did. Okay, now ADV did a video about that a while ago. I can't remember what it's called, but I'll put it in the link in the description. Even just locally here in Huizhou, I know a lot of guys that own bars, and they have to deal with corruption and police coming in and just kind of bothering them all the time, and it's incredibly frustrating. But I don't want to go into that too much because I don't want to get blasted on the internet for whatever reason, but it's true. It's very difficult for foreigners to be successful. Me personally, as I'm trying to get bigger on YouTube, I'm taking in more heat from the government. Again, I'll make a video about that later, but it's just incredibly frustrating because I don't really find it fair. And, you know, people say, well, you have to respect the wishes of the country, and I am, so that's why I'm leaving. Anyways, guys, those are my 5 reasons why I'm leaving China. I have a whole bunch more, but I figured just for the sake of time, those are the ones I'll talk about. Stay tuned later because I will be making a video about why I'm moving to Taiwan. I'm not sure the frequency of my videos, like in the future, how long they're coming out, because I have to take my computer to Taiwan. I'm not bringing my monitor, which means I have to buy a new monitor, and mouse, and keyboard, and set it all up so that I can edit my videos. So I do apologize if the frequency of my videos drops below once a week like it usually is. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you check out my Patreon page and my Facebook page, and stay positive, keep your stick on the ice, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Prozzie, we come here every month. Like, this is my favorite restaurant, and I'm literally fucking all of that up for this goddamn punishment.
So this is like the night that makes her feel good?
Yeah, I mean, apparently. I hope the cameraman does not, disapprove of what we've done for her tonight. I feel like we took her to a really nice place.
I don't really like that she's leaning on me.
Oh, sorry, Meredith.